Browns and Bengals, Mary Kay, for the first time this season. They meet on Sunday at 1 o'clock in Cincinnati. They will actually play the Bengals twice over these final 6 games, so we're going to get to see this matchup a few times. Let's talk about it. The Bengals, just another in the string of bad defenses the Browns are playing here. They played the Chiefs, they played the Falcons, and now the Bengals, who are just near the bottom of the league in almost everything defensively.
Yeah, they really are horrible. And of course, now we know someone who is helping out that defense is Coach Hugh Jackson, the former Browns coach who was fired here a couple of weeks ago and took over about 15 days later to help the Bengals defense. So Marvin Lewis is the defensive coordinator of sorts right now, but Hugh Jackson is very, very involved with this horrible defense. So let's see what he can do. And they might not have starting cornerback Drake Kirkpatrick, who is questionable for this game. So I think it's a good opportunity for the Browns offense to gain a little confidence.
Yeah, you look at some of these numbers. They're 32nd in yards per game, 31st in passing yards per game. They're tied with the Browns for 22nd in the league in sacks, which is something they usually do very well, and they are number 32 in rushing. Now, I mentioned the sacks. They do still have Carlos Dunlap. He has 7 this season, and Geno Atkins 6 this season. Of course, Geno has worked with a guy like Larry Ogunjobi on the Browns, so that's good news for Browns fans with Larry's development. But those are 2 guys that, despite the low sack numbers overall, they can still get into the backfield and they can still be disruptive.
Yeah, and you know that these Bengals are going to be fired up for the Browns, even though this defense has been bad. Before they played the Ravens and lost to the Ravens last week, they had given up 500 yards in each of the previous 3 games, and they're also either last or second last, I think maybe last in points, with 31.6 points given up per game. So this is just not a good defense at all. But like you said, those guys can get after it, and they are going to be fired up for the Browns. You know, Hugh Jackson's going to give a huge pep talk for this game and have those guys ready to play.
Now, on the offensive side of the ball, look, the Browns defense statistically not that far away from the Bengals. Of course, the one thing they do really well is take the football away, but on the offensive side of the ball, we know Andy Dalton is still there, but A.J. Green, questionable officially on Friday. He has not played since, I believe, week 8 with that toe injury. I'd be surprised if he gets out there. They're really thin at wide receiver right now. Josh Malone has been out, so they're relying on Tyler Boyd, who leads them in receptions, and John Ross, who has been a disappointment for them. So they're thin at receiver for Andy Dalton.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, it's going to hurt them a lot if they don't have A.J. Green. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. They've lost 2 straight, including that game last week against the Ravens. And you just have to think that if they had A.J. Green, he would have been the difference maker in that game and some of the others. So if he doesn't play in this game, I really think that's a huge boost for the Browns.
Now, the thing they do well is run the football. Joe Mixon, 584 rushing yards, and Giovanni Bernard, a nice change of pace back into a little bit of everything, run the ball and catch the ball. You mentioned it, Mary Kay. This is a Bengals team that, after winning 4 out of 5 to start the season, has lost 4 out of 5. I think it's going to keep going the wrong direction for them. I think the Browns are going to go to Cincinnati and finally beat this team. It would be the first time since that Thursday night win with Brian Hoyer at quarterback. It's been a long time since they've beaten the Bengals. I think they do it this week, 30-21.
Yeah, I mean, the Bengals have won 21 of the last 27. They've won 7 straight in this matchup, and they're 22-8 under Marvin against the Browns. So, and the other thing is, he is 7-1 against Browns rookie quarterbacks, but he's never faced Baker Mayfield before. You're talking about not the caliber of Baker Mayfield in those rookie quarterbacks. So I am also going to pick the Browns in this game. I'm going 27-24.
Yeah, of course, one of those rookie quarterbacks was Johnny Manziel and that disaster of a game that started this losing streak against the Bengals. We'll have full coverage of the game Sunday. It's at 1 o'clock in Cincinnati, all at cleveland.com/Browns.